Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Generative AI Models course by Simplilearn. In this course, we will take you from the basics of generative AI all the way to more advanced concepts. You will gain a clear understanding of how models like ChatGPT work and how to use them effectively in real-world scenarios. We will guide you step by step to build your own personalized ChatGPT tailored your needs. From there, we will explore how ChatGPT can assist with data analysis, making complex tasks faster and more accessible. Next, you will see how ChatGPT can be a powerful learning companion, helping you learn Python quickly and interactively, and even guiding you through the Java programming in a way that's easy to follow. By the end, you will not only understand generative AI, but know how to use it to learn, build, and solve problems faster. Before we commence, if you are interested in mastering the future of technology, the professional certificate course in generative AI and machine learning is the perfect opportunity for you, offered in collaboration with ENICT Academy, IIT Kanpur. This 11-month live and interactive program provides hands-on expertise in cutting-edge areas like generative AI, machine learning, and tools such as ChatGPT, DALL 2, and Hugging Face. You will gain practical experience through 15 plus projects, integrated labs, and live masterclasses delivered by esteemed IIT Kanpur faculty. Alongside earning a prestigious certificate from IIT Kanpur, you will receive official Microsoft badges for Azure AI courses and career support through Simplilearn's Job Assist program. Hurry up and enroll now. Find the course link in the description box below and the pinned comment. So without any further ado, let's get started.
Welcome to the short course on Generative AI Models for Beginners by Simplilearn. So in this course, we will learn about the basic understanding of Generative AI. Then we will move on to the C applications of the many Gen AI tools. And thirdly, we will understand the Gen AI models, and then we will create our first Gen AI model. And then we will move on and see the real world impact of the generative AI models. And then we will create a chatbot using the Gen AI model. And then we will conclude the course with the limitations of the Gen AI models. And finally, we will see the future of Gen AI models. Now, let us begin with the first chapter, that is basic understanding of generative AI. So, let us begin with what is generative AI. So generative AI is a type of artificial intelligence that creates new content such as text, images, music, or even code from scratch based on what it has learned. So unlike the traditional AI, which just analyzes or classifies data, like recognizing faces or recommending products, generative AI creates. It's like the difference between a judge and an artist. One evaluates and the other one imagines and produces. So let's break it down with a simple real world examples. The first one is ChatGPT, that is a text generation. So what it does? So ChatGPT, like the one you are talking to right now, generates human-like conversations and answers. So you can ask it to write stories, emails, explain difficult topics, or even debug a code. For example, you say, write me a bedtime story about a robot and a unicorn. The ChatGPT creates an entire story for you on that particular spot. So let's move on and see DALL-E, that is for the image generation. So DALL-E creates pictures from words, that is the text prompts. Then artists and marketers use it to generate logos, illustrations, or more without hiring a designer. For example, you type a cat wearing a space suit on Mars, and DALL-E draws it instantly. Now moving on to GPT-3, that is text plus logic task. So what it does? So GPT-3 is a powerful language model that can create and write essays, summary books, translate languages, and even write computer code. So developers use it in apps to create smart features like the AI writing assistant. So then you give GPT-3 a blog title and it writes the full article with an intro, subheadings, and conclusion. So after knowing all this, let's move on and see why are generative models. So generative models are changing the way we create content across multiple fields. So under the text field, we are writing books, articles, reports, or even poetry. And then we are assisting in the customer support with the chatbots. And then under the images section, we are helping the artist generate concepts and visuals. And then we are even handling the speeding up design and marketing content creation. And then under the music part, we are composing the background scores for videos or games. And then we are helping musicians brainstorm the melodies or the lyrics. And then finally, we write the boilerplate code under this coding section, debugging, or even creating full web apps. So now moving on, we'll see traditional AI versus generative AI. So let's compare both side by side with the simple explanations. So the main goal of traditional AI is to analyze and make decisions. And the main goal of generative AI is create new content. For example, under traditional AI, predicting stock prices or recommending books on movies. And the generative AI, we are writing stories, generating images, and so on. So traditional AI handles data. It uses data to classify or forecast, and generative AI learns from data to generate something new. The traditional AI, it labels, scores, and categories as output, and generative AI, the text, images, music videos, and so on. For example, traditional AI is face recognition, fraud detection, spam filters, and generative AI is ChatGPT, DALL, Music LM, and so on. So, down the line in the next chapter, we will see the applications of some generative AI tools like the ChatGPT, DALL, and GPT-3. So, imagine this. You are working on a college project. It's late at night and the deadlines is tomorrow. You need a well-written report and a poster design and a clear presentation. So total chaos, right? But what if I tell you that there's an AI assistant that can help you with all of this in just minutes? So welcome to the world of generative AI. Today we'll explore how tools like ChatGPT, DALL, and GPT-3 are being used by the students, content creators, and professionals to do amazing things faster, easier, and smarter. So let's break down each tool and see how you can actually use them in real life. So this is ChatGPT 4.0. If you're not aware of what ChatGPT is, so ChatGPT is an AI chatbot that can create, write essays, summaries, articles, explain topics, solve coding problems, and even conduct mock interviews all through one single chat. So let's look at real ways you can use it. So ChatGPT model, it uses this GPT-4, the latest in the generative AI pre-trained transformer that is a GPT family. So GPT-4 is designed for more nuanced and human-like conversation. So have a look at the real ways we can use it. So the first prompt we are going to try is explain the greenhouse effect like I am in class 12. So basically this prompt is asking for the greenhouse effect explanation, and it is asking the ChatGPT to behave that it is explaining to a class 12 person. So we will give this. So you can basically see a human-like generation. Just like, sure, the greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface. It happens when certain gases in the Earth's atmosphere trap the heat. Here's how it works. It will have a detailed explanation on the solar energy, Earth's surface absorption, greenhouse gases, heat trapping, and all. So after all this 4 points, it has also given without the greenhouse effect, the earth would be too cold to sustain life. However, human activities like as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial processes. So you can basically think it has given one nutshell, and if you just understand this, you have a clear vision of what a greenhouse effect is. So the first point we can see over here is that it is like a own tutor. So the first point, we have just been to ChatGPT, that is founded by chat.openai.com. We have typed a question and we have got a simple and easy to understand answer. And even you can have a follow-up question, like if I ask, is solar energy related to greenhouse effect. You can even have a follow-up question. Yes, solar energy is related to the greenhouse effect. So it's almost like its own tutor. So great for the late night cramming or the quick concept clarity. So this is it. And now moving on to the second thing that it can help with, that writing assignments or essays in just minutes. So we will ask ChatGPT, write a 350 word essay on climate change for college purpose. And you can see I have provided conditions. You can even customize it by saying make it simple and yet engaging and awesome. So it will basically it has even created a own title, a growing concern for our future. Climate change, it has created paragraphs, and basically you can even customize this word count and topic, then review the generated draft. You can even personalize it. Do you like this personality? And done and dusted. You can just have this. Now writing feels less stressful and it would be more fun. It can even give you an interview experience. For example, just imagine you are having your interview on the next Monday and you are preparing and you're very confused about what to prepare and what not. Then you can basically ask ChatGPT to behave like an interviewer for a particular job. You can even paste your job description from that particular company and you can ask that what are the probable questions I can have. So let's have a demo. Ask me 3 HR questions for a software development internship and suggest improvements. And you can even post this. And in no time, it has started generating. Here are the 3 HR questions for a software development internship. The first one, can you walk me through a recent coding project you have worked on and explain how you approach solving the problem? And you know what? This is a very, very common question. And it has given one tip also, suggestion. This question evaluates your problem solving skills, your technical ability, and how you approach development tasks. It gives the interviewer insight into your practical experience and thought process. So how do you manage the deadlines when working on the multiple projects or the tasks simultaneously? So this question assesses your time management skills and ability to prioritize the task. So the software development often involves juggling multiple assignments. So this gives the interviewer an idea of your organization skills. So this is very important. It has also written, how do you keep yourself updated with the latest programming languages and technologies? So basically this question looks after your own learning ability. So the self-improvement part. So it has even created one answer over it. And it has also suggestions for the improvement, provide specific examples, highlight the soft skills, prepare for the problem-solving questions, and so on. And for example, if I write, customize it with a data analyst fresher role, having no experience, what all the interviewer can ask me in the technical round, and it will give you answer in no time. HR questions for a data analyst fresher. Why are you interested in pursuing a career as a data analyst, and what are the steps you have taken to prepare yourself for this role? Can you describe a situation where you had to analyze data or solve a problem using numbers or data in your studies or personal projects? How do you approach learning new tools or technologies, especially when it comes to data analysis software? And then we have this technical question. What is the difference between the structured and unstructured data? What is data normalization? How comfortable are you with the data visualization tools? Can you describe a visualization you would use to represent sales data over time? Can you explain what a pivot table is when it is used in data analysis? And there are suggestions that you are showcase your learning journey, focus on the problem solving skills, prepare for the basic technical questions. Since you are a fresher, the technical questions may focus on the fundamentals like the Excel, Python, that is the libraries, pandas, and so on. So in no time, it can even have a mock interview over here. So you can even create ideas over here. It can brainstorm you with the ideas available. For example, you have a group project and you want an idea. I'll type over here, give 5 creative ideas for a group project on sustainability. And if you post this, in no time it has created this 5 ideas. Sustainable packaging design challenge. Objectives design a sustainable. It has created one objective, it has given one approach for you and one outcome. Then it has created community based urban garden, and for each topic if you see, for each idea if you see, it has created the objective, the approach and the outcome. So these projects can not only be educational but also impactful. So you never run out of inspiration from ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a lot. And here if you can actually see, it has various search, deep search and create image, and you can basically do everything you want from ChatGPT. Let's now move on to DALL-E. The next we would be seeing is DALL-E. So DALL-E is an AI that creates images from text. You tell it what to draw and it generates the artwork, logos and visuals. So you would be getting DALL-E from this ChatGPT only, and in the Explore GPTs in the sidebar, you have to just mention DALL-E 2. So there are various versions of DALL-E and we'll start chatting. And now if you close this sidebar, you can basically see DALL-E 2. So DALL-E is an AI that creates the images, and DALL-E, this model uses a version of the CLIP model, that is a contrastive language image pre-training, combined with the VQ-VA2 or other generative image models. So DALL-E creates images from the text descriptions, generating highly creative visuals based on the natural language input. So let's see how you can use it. So for example, you're going to design the college poster design. So instantly it would be done. So we would write create a poster for a college fest with DJs, neon lights and a crazy crowd, okay? And you can basically give the prompt. And in no time, it will create one great image for you. You can write and you can see it has created a great image. You can basically download this image and do anything. Here's the poster for your college fest featuring a vibrant DJ scene with the neon lights and the energetic crowd. So forget Photoshop, let AI do the heavy lifting. So then you can create presentations over here, adding better visuals. So I'll write, draw a cartoon showing water pollution in a river. And you can basically see this. Now You can insert it into the PowerPoint or Canva and design it on your own. It acts as a vector, it acts as icon, and anything you want to add. Then you can instantly create club logos and branding. So you can even generate a logo for over here through DALL-E 2. Logo for a coffee club with books and steaming mugs. And you can see it has created a drastic logo and it feels like real. So you had just given one prompt and get 4 to 5 variations of logo. You can even ask it for a different version. So great for the student clubs or college events. Then you can even have it for the costume design or any ideas again. So we'll write futuristic costume design for a sky fi play with glowing elements. And even you can see here, it has created a futuristic costume design for a scientific fiction play with the glowing elements. And it is very amazing. The qualities of the images are of high quality. And use vivid descriptions, use more detailed prompts, and you will get a great output from DALL-E 2. So art students and theater class, this is your new secret weapon. So let's move on to GPT-3. Our next GenAI tool is GPT-3. So GPT-3 is the powerhouse engine behind the tools like ChatGPT. So it doesn't just chat, it can write full code, research summary papers, business emails, and more. So GPT-3 is a predecessor of GPT-4 based on the same GPT architecture but with a 175 billion parameters. It was one of the most advanced language models when it was released. So let's explore how it helps in the real world task. So initially, we can use ChatGPT because it is a ChatGPT 4 version. There is a GPT-3 is basically a predecessor of GPT-4. So I'm using ChatGPT over here. You can also use ChatGPT 4 to understand the GPT-3. So the first one is building websites without coding. So you can even write a HTML for personal portfolio with my name, bio, and contact form. And in no time, it has generated this. You can just copy it, paste it in VS Code or any of the code editors you like, and you can definitely get a proper output of this. Perfect for the beginners or the design students. Then you can even summarize a lengthy research paper. You can have to just upload the paper, and if you see this plus section, you can just click on this. You can just upload from your computer and summarize it in 2 seconds. It can even brainstorm you with the project and the startup ideas, like suggest 5 unique app ideas for college students. Now you can see the first one is Study Buddy Finder. Helps students find partners based on their courses, schedules, and many preferences. And you can even see Campus Event Hub, Course Material Exchange, Mental Wellness Check-in, Foodie Finder, and so on. It has even created bullet points for better understanding. So it is a noise-free study timer. Use it to kickstart your next hackathon or competition or anything. So I'm not dragging it more because as I have already showed you the use of ChatGPT, So that's it. Moving on to the next lesson of understanding the generative AI models. Imagine you are teaching a computer to be creative, like painting a picture, writing a poetry, or designing a dress. That's exactly what generative AI models aim to do. So learn from the data and generate new content that looks sound or feels real. But how do this pull off? Let's break it down into the three major families of models. The first one is GANs, that is the generative adversarial networks. Then the second one we have is VAEs, that is the variational autoencoders. And the third one, the final one, is transformers like the GPT. So let's understand this in a detailed one. The first one is generative adversarial networks, GANs, the artist versus the critic game. So how it works? Think of GANs like a competition between the two neural networks. The generator is like a rookie artist trying to create a fake art. The discriminator is the tough critic trying to tell the real art from the fake. So the artist creates random images. The critic says fake or real, and the artist learns to get better. So over the time, the fake images become indistinguishable from the real ones. So there's a real world analogy. It's like a student, that is a generator, forging a signature and a teacher, discriminator, spotting it. As both improve, the forgeries become nearly perfect. So there are certain applications. The first application is creating realistic human faces. Then style, the transfer in the art. And then we have fashion design prototypes. And then finally we have deep fakes, that is controversial but technically fascinating. And then let's move on to the challenges. So, training instability. The second one is it requires a lot of data and computing. So, moving on, we'll understand variational autoencoders, that is the VAs, the data compressor with creativity. So, VAs are like the compress and the rebuild systems. They take input data like an image, compress it into a low dimensional space that is called a latent space, and then reconstruct it. But here's the twist. The VAs don't just remember, they imagine. So by sampling different points in the latent space, they can generate new similar looking content. So let's move on and see the applications. First application is anomaly detection. So what doesn't fit in the normal data? Then the second one is generating handwritten digits and faces. And then we have data compression. And then finally we can see drug discovery, that is generating molecular structures. So now let's move on to the strengths. So more stable than the GANs, and it gives a well-structured latent space for the interpolation. So now moving on to the third model, we have transformer models, that is a master of the sequences. So unlike the GANs or the VAs, which focus more on images, transformers shine in handling sequences, especially the text. The core data idea is attention mechanism, a way to let the model focus on the different words when generating a sentence. So for example, when GPT generates a sentence, I like ice cream because it's sweet. It pays attention to the context, understanding how because relates to the ice cream and sweet. So let's now move on to the applications. The first one is chatbots, like the ChatGPT. And then we have code generation, that is the GitHub Copilot. And then thirdly, we have language translation. And finally, we have summarization and content creation. And then let's move on and see why transformers stand out. So the first one is they scale data well. The second one is they can be fine-tuned on specific tasks like the medical summarization or legal drafting. Then finally we have they handle the long-range dependencies better than the older models like the RNNs or the LSTMs. Then we have a comparison and the use cases. So the first one is GANs, and it is best at image generation. And then we have an example use, that is the face synthesis. And the associated strength is high realism, and the weakness is it is hard to train. Then we are seeing the VAEs, and it is best at data compression, plus it is also good in anomaly detection. So it is used as a latent space exploration. And then coming to the strength, it is very stable training. And then coming to weakness, it has a less sharp outputs. So then coming to the model type, that is the transformers, and it is best at text and language. And then we have an example use, that is a ChatGPT and summarization. And then we have strength, that is powerful with the large data. And then we have certain weakness, that is expensive to train. Now moving on, let's clear something. Which to use and when. So if you don't know which generative model to use for what, it can mess things up fast. So let's say you are building an app that needs to write emails, make pictures, answer questions, and turn speech into text. If you use the wrong model for the wrong job, your results will be poor, things will be slow, and you will waste time. So let's understand which models performs what. So for a sharp realistic images, we are using GANs. And then coming to the next, for variation and latent space analysis, we are using VAEs. And then finally, for the language or the text-based task, we are using transformers. So finally, how do these models actually work? So the GAN training process is, the first process is generator makes the fake data. Then the step 2 is the discriminator tries to classify the real versus fake. Then the third step is both get better at their jobs with each round. So the final goal is to fool the discriminator with the realistic outputs. So the transformers under the hood pays attention mechanism. So it helps model understand which words matter more. Then we have self-attention, that is allows the model to look at all the words in a sentence at once. And then we have positioner, that is encoding, and it helps track the orders of the words, as transformers don't read left to right like humans. So this is why models like GPT-4 can summarize, translate, and generate in text so well. So understanding the differences between these generative models is like knowing which tool to use for which creative job. So GANs are your digital painters, VAs are the smart compressors with imagination, and transformers are your text wizards. So down the line, we'll see how to create our first generative AI model. In this chapter, we will be creating our first generative AI model. So the objective of this lesson is breaking down the steps of building a generative AI model using a pre-trained model. So we are here not training a model from the scratch. So instead, we will fine-tune or directly use a pre-trained model. So this makes it fast and beginner-friendly. So if I tell the steps in nutshell, it will be, we will be first choosing a pre-trained model. For example, GPT-2 because it is lightweight and good for beginners. The source from which we will getting the model is Hugging Face's Model Hub, and then we will be setting up the environment in Google Colab, as you can see. Then we will be installing the libraries, the transformers, torch, and then loading the pre-trained model and the tokenizer. Then we will be writing a prompt and generating a text. So here we will be using the pipeline API for simplicity and parameters like max length and temperature. So let's begin. So here I am inside this Google Colab and I have chosen a new notebook to begin with, and then I'll just insert exclamation pip install transformers and shift enter. And it may take some time, and you can see it has actually installing all the required transformers. So pip install means install this package in Colab, And transformers is a library by the Hugging Face. So it gives us access to the powerful AI models like GPT-2, BERT and more. And then we will install from transformers import pipeline, and then we will be using the loading generator GPT-2 text generator. So generator equal to, and you can see pipeline text generation and tab. So we'll execute this, and basically this pipeline is a shortcut tool. It hides all the complex code needed to run the AI models. So here the text generation tells like, hey, I want a model that can write text for me, and GPT-2 is the actual model name. It was trained by the OpenAI to predict what word comes next in a sentence. And then basically you can see that it has model 7 tensors, 100%, has loaded everything, and the storage is also enabled for this repository. And then we'll begin with the prompt. Okay, so let's give the prompt and let's keep it very simple. Prompt equal to, once upon a time in a world full of AI, comma. And then in the next line I will be writing result is equal to generator, and we will be passing the prompt inside it, and then we will be giving the max length, one parameter, and I will be specifying it as 100, and I will be giving the number return sequence, number return sentence is equal to 1, and I don't require this, so I will be directly printing the result. The first one, the first doc will print, and then we will be passing the generated text, and I will run this. And so the prompt I have given, this is a starting sentence you give to the AI, like saying, hey, start a story with this and this and this. So max length is equal to 100. So this particularly means generate up to 100 words or characters after the prompt. And then you can even see I have given this num return sequence is equal to 1. This is asking for just one version of the result. So you can basically ask for 2-3 versions. I have just asked for only one. And then the result you can see. And in the third bracket, I have given a 0 and the generated text. It extracts the generated text from the result. So you will see the AI write a continuation of your prompt basically. So that's your first generative AI output. You can basically see, once upon a time in the world of AI, your only limit was when you could kill monsters, but now you can for the first time ever. The new monsters are in the battle in the blood of elves now, not the usual black and white battles that you have experienced with the past couple of years, and it has created a great one. So you can even see the power of generative AI. It has that power of completing your text, your prompt. So then let's write result equal to generator and if I want to write prompt comma enter, then max length I will again mention equal to 100, then enter. I want the num return sequence equal to 1, and have to put a comma over here, okay? So don't forget this, guys. And then temperature is equal to 0.7, comma, top k. Don't worry, I'll explain one by one as I write. Equal to 50, then top p equal to 0.95, comma, then I'll write do samples equal to true, basically a boolean value. So then after this I'll print the result, print result, and in third brackets will be the first one, and then again third brackets will give in generated text, and then I'll basically gonna shift enter. So here basically we have parameters like temperature. So temperature, what it does, it controls the creativity. This the lower is equal to safe and higher is the wild, and creative is 0.7 medium. So this top underscore k is equal to 50. So pick from the top 50 likely next words instead of just the top one. Then we have this top underscore p is equal to 0. It is the nuclear sampling, that is a more natural randomness. Then we have do sample is equal to true, that is enables the randomness. So without this the output is too predictable. So once you run this code, you will see something like, once upon a time in a world full of AI, and with every advancement in AI machines, there has been a change in the way we think about the world, and we need to make sure that we can make sure, and it has repeated it so many times. So every time you run it, you might get a slightly different result. So over here you have used the Hugging Faces Transformers library to load the GPT-2. Then you wrote a prompt, and then the AI continued it using its training. So you did it without any complex machine learning setup inside the Google Colab. So this is your very first generative AI model. In the next chapter, we will be seeing the real world of impact of generative AI models. So generative AI is not just about another buzzword. It's fundamentally changing how businesses operate, solve problems, and serve customers. From generating product descriptions to designing aircraft parts, generating AI is stepping into roles that once required human creativity and intelligence. So in this session, we will explore how industries across the board are using generative AI in meaningful and practical ways. The first one is healthcare. That is a faster diagnosis and drug discovery. So in healthcare, generative AI is helping doctors and scientists make faster decisions. The first one is medical imaging. So AI can analyze medical images like the X-rays or MRIs and create reports to help doctors quickly identify the problems. For example, a hospital uses AI to write reports for doctors, cutting down the time spent on each patient. Then we have drug discovery. So AI helps scientists discover new medicines faster by predicting how proteins fold, which is important for the creating drugs. For example, a company used AI to discover a new drug in just 18 months, which usually takes much longer time. Then moving on to the next one, we have finance, that is a smarter risk management and report generation. So in finance, AI is making it easier to analyze data and detect the problems. The first one is automated financial reports. So AI can create financial reports based on data, saving time for analysts. For example, a hedge fund uses AI to write the market reports in minutes. Then we have fraud detection. So AI helps banks detect fraud by generating the fake transaction data to test their security systems, making them more reliable. So for instance, MasterCard uses AI to create realistic transaction data to improve their fraud detection system. So now moving on to the third, we have retail, and that is the personalized shopping experience. So retailers use AI to create personalized shopping experiences for customers. The first one we have is product descriptions. So AI writes product descriptions that are customized for different customer groups, such as casual descriptions for young buyers and formal ones for the professionals. For example, a clothing brand uses AI to automatically write descriptions for thousands of products. And then we have virtual try-ons. So AI lets customers try on clothes or makeup virtually to see how it would look on them before buying. So for instance, Sephora's app uses AI to suggest makeup and lets users see how it looks on their face using their phone camera. So now moving on to the fourth one, we have manufacturing. There is a faster design and maintenance. So AI is also making manufacturing more efficient. The first one is AI generated designs. AI helps create lighter, stronger parts for products, reducing waste and material cost. For example, an airplane company used AI to design parts that were 50% lighter but just as strong as the traditional designs. Then moving on, we have predictive maintenance. So AI helps factories predict when machines will need maintenance, reducing downtime and improving efficiency. For example, a factory uses AI to automatically create maintenance schedules for machines based on their performance data. So now moving on to the fifth one, we have education. That is a personalized learning for students. So AI is making education more personalized and accessible. The first one is AI tutors. So AI-powered tutors can help students with the homework by guiding them step by step through problems. For example, a student stuck on a math problem can get hints and explanations from an AI tutor available at any time. Then we have automated feedback. So teachers use AI to create quizzes and provide feedback on assignments, saving them hours each week. For instance, a teacher uses AI to review essays and provide comments in just minutes instead of hours. So now moving on, we have sixth one is entertainment, that is creating content at a scale. So in entertainment, AI is being used to create content faster and cheaper. First one is script writing. AI can help writers come up with ideas, generate dialogues, and even create storyboards before filming. For example, a filmmaker uses AI to plan scenes and create visuals before they start shooting, save time in the pre-production. So then we have virtual characters. So AI can create virtual characters that speak and act, which is useful for movies, games, and social media content. For instance, AI is used to create virtual influencers who interact with their followers on social media. So now moving on down the line, we will see how to create a chatbot in Google Colab. So before we dive into the code, let's first understand what the Hugging Face Transformers library is. So the Hugging Face Transformers library is one of the most popular libraries for the natural language processing, and it provides the pre-trained models that can perform a variety of tasks like the text generation, text classification, name identity recognition, and more. So here in the code, we will be using a model called DialogGPT Small, which is a variant of GPT-2 designed for conversation generation. So the DialogGPT was trained on the large conversational datasets, making it a perfect fit for building the chatbots. So let's now build the setting up the environment. So for this, we will install pip install transformers. So this line basically installs the transformers library. You need this to work with the pre-trained models provided by the Hugging Face. So this will allow you to load the models like the Dialog GPT we will be using here, a conversational AI model, and use it to generate the chat responses. And here we will begin with importing the necessary libraries. From transformers, import the auto model. For the casual LM auto tokenizer, import torch, and then we will run this. So here we are importing the necessary components like the auto model ID for the casual LM. So this class basically loads a pre-trained model for the casual language modeling, which is used for the text generation task. So we will use it to load the Dialog GPT model. And the auto tokenizer, the tokenizer converts the text into tokens which are known as numbers, that the model can process and then converts the model's output back into the human readable text. So the torch is then, PyTorch is the deep learning framework used by the model. It's used for the tensor manipulations as models rely on these tensors for the input and output. So let's begin. Then we will begin with the loading the model and the tokenizer. So here this converts the raw text, that is the user input, into tokens. Into that model understands. So each word or phrase is mapped into the unique ID, making it easier for the model to process and generate a response. So then model is that pre-trained Dialog GPT small model is loaded over here. So this model has been trained on a large corpus of dialogues, which enables it to generate the relevant responses in a conversational manner. So then we will begin with the chat initialization. And before beginning with the chat initialization, we will see that the tokenizer config.json is 100% complete, and the best part of Collab is it will give you all the status of how it is complete and for which particular merges.text.vocab.json which is completing and what problem is there. So let's just run this and let me explain. So chat history IDs. So this is a variable where we store the history of the conversation. So this helps the model maintain the context across multiple user inputs. Then we have having a print statement that start chatting with your AI, type quit to exit. So this provides a welcoming message to the user to start chatting and gives the exit command. So then we will begin with the chat loop, that is the main logic of the chatbot. So then we'll begin with this chat loop logic. So we have written for step in range 5, user input is equal to input and then u and then semicolon and then a space. And then we have written if user input dot lower is equal to quit, then I have to break it. Break the loop. Break. So then I'll run this, and this section of the code basically uses input to get the user's message and exit condition. If the user types quit, the loop will break and the chat ends. So let's see, and here basically you can see I have written hey and still it doesn't break. So let's write quit over here and let's see what happens. So you can see that it has stopped generating, means it has got out of the logic. So here we have this encoding user input. So encoding, the user input is converted into token IDs using the tokenizer dot encode. So the EOS token, that is the end of sequence token, is added at the end of the user input. This tells the model that the input has ended and it prepares for generating a response. Then tensors. So this is the return underscore tensors equal to PT. That part ensures that the encoded input is returned as a PyTorch tensor. This is the format that the model expects. So we will run this. And then we will be moving on to managing the conversation in history. So here we are having this managing conversation history, and it is up to maintaining the context. So we want to keep the track of the conversation history so that the model can respond in context. So if there's previous chat history, that is the chat history IDs, it is concatenated with the new input, allowing the model to consider the entire conversation so far. So if there is no previous history, that is the first user input, the new input IDs are used directly. So then we will be moving on to generating a response. So here we are concentrating on generating a response. Chat history IDs is equal to model generated bot input IDs max length equal to 1000 and pat token ID is equal to tokenizer dot EOS token ID. So model response, so this part sends the concatenated input to the model, that is model dot generate, and generates a response. The maximum length specifies the maximum length of the generated text. So in this case, it is set to 1000 tokens. Then we have pad token ID, that is, it ensures the padding tokens are handed correctly. That is, the model needs to know which tokens are just padding. Then we will be moving on to the decoding the response. And here we are seeing response is equal to tokenizer dot decode chat history IDs, there is a bot input IDs dot shape and everything. So basically decoding this generated token IDs are converted back into the human readable text using the tokenizer dot decode. Then we have skip the special tokens. The skip special tokens is equal to true. It ensures that any special tokens like the EOS are not included in the final output. So we will run this. And then finally, we are actually printing the response, that is displaying the response. So the print, this generating the response is displayed to the user. So we'll run this and you can see bot, I'm so sorry. So what happens when you run this code? You initiate the chat and the bot welcomes you to start chatting. So every time you input something, the bot takes your message, encodes it and sends it to the model along with the conversation history. The model generates a response considering the entire conversation so far, and the bot outputs that response. So this loop continues until you type quit, ending the conversation. So, building a chatbot is essential because it enhances the user engagement by providing the real-time, personalized interactions, making it more dynamic and the user-friendly compared to the static content. So, chatbots are available 24/7, ensuring the users can get immediate responses at any time. So, by automating the repetitive tasks like answering common questions, processing orders, or providing basic customer support, chatbots free up valuable resources, allowing human employees to focus on more complex tasks. So then, additionally, chatbots can improve customer satisfaction by quickly resolving the inquiries, reducing the wait times, and enhancing the overall user experience. So implementing the context management allows the bot to remember the previous interactions, ensuring a continuous and more personalized experience for the user. So finally, enabling the multi-turn conversation handling means the chatbot can engage in back and forth dialogues rather than only answering the isolated questions, so making it feel more conversational and human-like. So these features collectively help create an intelligent, efficient, and engaging chatbot that can significantly improve user interactions and streamline the business operations. So you can even fine tune your own model. So this could be your own data set to make it more specific to a particular domain or a use case. You can even make it worth handling the longer conversations so that it remembers the chat history for a long time. So guys, you have made your first chatbot and down the line, let's get improved. So in this lesson, we will understand about the limitations of generative AI models. So the first one is lack of understanding. So AI models generate content by predicting what comes next based on the patterns in data, but they don't truly understand the content. For example, when an AI creates an article or a code, it doesn't know what it's writing. It's just mixing patterns based on the past data. Then moving on to the dependence on the data quality. So the AI's performance is only as good as the data it's trained on. So if it has biased or incomplete data, it can generate biased or inaccurate results. Think about biased hiring algorithms or flawed healthcare recommendations, real issues caused by the bad training data. So now moving on to the third one, we have creativity limitations. So AI can produce impressive creative outputs like artwork or music. So however, it struggles to innovate or produce truly original ideas like a human artist would. It's more about remixing the existing content rather than inventing something groundbreaking. Now moving on to the next, we have ethical concerns. So AI models can sometimes generate harmful content, from offensive language to deep fakes that are hard to distinguish from the real footage. So this poses risk for misinformation and ethical dilemmas, especially in media and entertainment. So now moving on to the next, we have context and nuance. So generative AI can miss the subtle nuance in conservations or emotions. For instance, if you asked a model to help with the sensitive topics like mental health, it might offer advice that's generic and more tailored to the individual's emotional needs. Next, we have cost and resource intensive. So, training a generative AI model requires huge amounts of computing power, time, and energy. So, these models often run on the powerful servers, consuming a lot of resources, which raises concerns about the sustainability and the environmental impact. So now moving on to the next one, we have limited problem solving capabilities. While generative AI is great at tasks like writing essays or summarizing text, it's not well suited for the task requiring the deeper reasoning or the complex problem solving. It can simulate problem solving, but it doesn't truly understand the solution in the way humans do. Now, moving on to the next one, we have risk of over reliance. So, with AI generating more and more content, there's a risk of becoming too dependent on the technology. So, people might rely on AI for the tasks that require human expertise or critical thinking, which could hinder the personal creativity or decision making. So, now moving on, we have data privacy issues. So, AI models can sometimes generate content based on the personal data, raising concerns about privacy. So, this is especially problematic in the areas like healthcare, where sensitive data can be inadvertently shared or misused. So, now moving on to the next one, we have generalization challenges. So, generative models are great at specific tasks but struggle with the broader generalization. For instance, a model trained to generate images of the cats may struggle to create the convincing images of a completely different animal, showing that AI is limited in its flexibility. Now, moving on down the line, we will understand the future of Gen AI models. The first one is improved understanding and comprehension. So that the future of generative AI will likely see models that can understand the context more deeply, providing more relevant and meaningful outputs. So we might see AI models that can truly comprehend the meaning behind the responses, rather than just spitting out the data. So next, we'll move on to the enhanced creativity. So, as AI models evolve, we can expect them to push boundaries and become more innovative. So, with advancements in the techniques like the reinforcement learning and neural architecture search, we could see AI producing truly original content, potentially revolutionizing fields like the art, music, and literature. So, now moving on, we have more ethical AI. So, in the future, we will likely see more regulations around AI usage to prevent the harmful outcomes. So, AI companies are already working on improving the transparency, reducing bias, and making their models more ethical and responsible. So now moving on, we have better personalization. So the future holds AI that can offer more tailored, personalized experience. So imagine an AI that truly understands your needs and preferences. So providing you with the content, products or services that feel personalized and relevant. Now, moving on to the next one, we have energy efficiency. So, as the demand for the generative AI grows, researchers are focusing on creating more energy efficient models. We may see smaller, more powerful models that can run on less computational power, reducing the environmental impact. So, next we have human AI collaboration. So, rather than replacing humans, the future of generative AI models is likely to be centered on collaboration. So, we will see AI helping people be more productive, augmenting creativity, and providing insights that humans can use to make better decisions. So, now moving on to the next, we have integration with the new technologies. So, generative AI will continue to integrate with the new technologies like augmented reality, that is the AR, then the virtual reality, that is the VR, the blockchain, and opening up new possibilities for the immersive experiences and the decentralized applications. So now moving on, we have solving complex real world problems. So in the near future, we could see AI models working alongside scientists to tackle the big challenges like climate change, pandemics, and global food security. So AI could help analyze data, predict trends, and offer innovative solutions to these pressing problems. So now we'll see the next one, we have more accessible AI. So as technology advances, AI will become more accessible. Tools will be easier to use, and people from all the walks of life, not just the technical experts, will be able to harness the power of AI to create and innovate. So, while generative AI models are still evolving, their potential to transform the industries, enhance creativity, and solve the complex problems is undeniable. But it's important to address their limitations and work towards creating more ethical, efficient, and responsible AI systems. So the future is exciting and we are just getting started. So guys, congratulations on completing the Gen AI Models for Beginners course by Simplilearn. You have now built a strong foundation on the generative AI models by learning what generative AI was, how it impacted the real world, then creating chatbots, creating your first Gen AI model, and then finally closing it with the future of Gen AI models. So, as you move forward, continue experimenting with your own data sets and refining your own pipeline to unlock the full potential of Gen AI in creating smarter, context aware Gen AI systems and models.
Are you struggling to find meaningful insights from your data? Don't worry. ChatGPT is here to simplify your data analysis process and make it more efficient than ever. Whether you are handling small dataset or tackling complex ones, ChatGPT can help uncover patterns, trends, and insights without the confusion or stress. So in this video, we will explore how ChatGPT can transform the way you work with data. Think of it as your intelligent assistant ready to help with tasks like summarizing data, answering questions about trends, and even suggesting actionable insights, all in plain, understandable language. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced analyst, ChatGPT makes working with data easier and faster. ChatGPT works by interpreting your inputs and providing clear, insightful responses. You can ask questions about your data, clarify complex points, and even brainstorm ideas for data driven decisions. It takes the complexity out of the data analysis, helping you focus on what truly matters, understanding your data, and applying the insights effectively. And finally, you will see practical examples of how ChatGPT can simplify data related tasks and enhance workflow. So get ready to see how AI can help you make smarter decisions, save time, and get more value out of your data. So welcome to this demo part of this ChatGPT for data analysis. So let's see what are the improvements to data analysis in ChatGPT. Okay, you can interact with tables and charts, and you can add files directly from Google Drive or OneDrive. Okay, so you can upload the latest files version directly from this. You can interact with tables and charts in a new expandable view. You can customize and download charts for the presentation and the documentation, which is very good thing. Okay, data analysis improvements will available in our new flagship model GPT-4o for ChatGPT Plus. If you have ChatGPT Plus, so you can directly use in GPT-4o as well, or teams and enterprise users over the coming weeks. Okay, so basically, what is data analysis? Let me brief you. So data analysis is just a process. It's a tool that empowers organization to make informed decision or predict trends and improve operational efficiency. Okay, so it is the backbone of strategic planning in business, government, and other organization, you can say. Okay, and ChatGPT helps us in reducing time or in finding patterns and trends. Okay, in couple of minutes. Okay, in few seconds, you can say, not even couple of minutes. Okay, so either you can choose data analyst here, or if you have ChatGPT Plus, so you can work on ChatGPT photo directly. Okay, so what do you want? Okay, let's go for ChatGPT 4o only, right? So I have data set, so either you can upload from directly from your computer. Okay, either you can add it from your Google Drive. Okay, if you will add from Google Drive, you have to my Google Drive is connected or not, I don't know. Oh, okay, Netflix. Oh, okay, so it's not connected, my drive is not connected. So first I will try to connect it, or either, okay, leave. What we will do, you can directly add from your Google Drive. Okay, you can see it's showing option. Okay, but I don't have that data in my Google Drive, so I will import from, or you can say upload from directly from this computer. Okay, so first I will write describe the data. Okay, yes, so now it will first analyze it and it will describe the data. Okay, so you can see here the dataset contains information about Netflix shows and movies comprising 12 columns and 8,807 rows. Okay, I downloaded this dataset from the Kaggle. Okay, you guys also can download, or I will provide you in the description box. Right, so we have 12 columns in this: show ID, type, title, director, cast, country, and this is duration, description. Okay, sample data: Dickens Johnson as dead. This is movie USA PG-3, a documentary reflecting on the filmmaker father's life. This. Okay, see, now you will get the options as well. Show data distribution by movie type. Okay, but first what I will do, I will clean this data. Okay, please clean this data. Okay, and would you like to clean that? See, would you like to explore a specific aspect, clean the data, visualize certain trends? Okay, we'll do, don't worry. See now, dataset has been cleaned with the following adjustment: remove duplicates to ensure unique records, handle missing values. Missing values in director, cast, country were filled with unknown, fine. Missing data added, not specified, rating, not rated. Okay, cool. Okay, updated dataset summary, columns, see this. Okay, columns, no change in column, unchanged as no duplicates are found, no critical value. Okay, so now what I will do, please give me 5 different visual charts, visual charts from the data. Okay, and okay, later on I will tell you one more thing, and you can use this data analyst as well. And I am having this plus version, so I can use ChatGPT 4 directly. Cool, it's analyzing. Yeah, So now you can see, okay, count of movies versus TV shows. See, switch to interactive chart, and this is for, see, here you can download and you can expand the chart. See, okay, and see, this is how you can, predict trends and make charts, different types of charts in few couple of seconds. Okay, and this is legend, I guess. Okay, so this is how, see, second chart, top 10 countries with most content, and this is top 10 directed by number of titles. First one unknown, Rajiv Chilaka, and this content count by rating, this, and this is number of titles added per year. See, see how beautiful it is. Okay, so here are the 5 visual charts created from this. Okay, so let's use this. Find popular content by release year. And here, if you will click on this view analysis, what you will find, this behind, I guess, Python code behind that. See, okay, always show details. I can do this, or either it's okay. You can just copy this code and you can put it in your, Python IDE, and you can use this as well. It will show you the exact same graph which ChatGPT created. Okay, see, popular content released by year. Okay, so I want one pie chart based on, okay, based on let's do country. I need pie chart based on country, or you can make histogram. After this, let's create word cloud. Okay, see, you got distribution of content by top 10 countries. See, which is in 10. Okay, let me do this like this. See, amazing, right? United States 2818, in India 7972, unknown is 831, United Kingdom 419, 245. So it's how amazing it is. In just few seconds, like 4 5 seconds, it took just 4 5 seconds, and you can expand the view and you can enjoy here as well. See how amazing, right? So this is the power of ChatGPT, you can say. It will, reduce your time to analyze the data. Okay, you can just see the code behind this particular chart, and well, let me create, please create word cloud using, okay, from this data set. I hope it will create, I guess. One more amazing thing I have, wait, I will show you. See, word cloud, amazing, right? Family, woman, life, take, new, life, love, world, health, team, father. Okay, you can create word cloud based on movie's name. I hope there is column of movie. Oh no, title is there. I guess it will create Christmas black wall people good. Okay, you can change it. No issues. Okay, you can ask show trends of movie genre globally. And now let's see. What if I want all this data into one presentation to present to my, colleagues or stakeholders, you can say. So what I will write, please give me all this analysis in the presentation format. Okay, found it very cool. See, this analysis has been compiled in a PowerPoint presentation. You can download link. So this is the download link. So it's downloaded. Let me open this. Let's see how's the PPT. See, amazing. And let's enable editing. See, enable. Amazing, right? See, all the analysis is here. And what you can do is we have the inbuilt designer thing. So you can just click on designer. You can just choose the design how you want. See, or like this, or like this. Let me put like this. Okay. And for this, it's generating. Okay, I'm feeling this is good. Okay, for this let's use this, and for this let's use this different one, and for this let's use another different thing, and for this let's
We are going to embark on a journey into the world of programming with the help of one of the most advanced AI models out there, ChatGPT. That's right. In this video, we will be learning Python using the power of ChatGPT. Whether you are a complete beginner or someone looking to expand their programming skills, Python is an excellent choice. It's known for its simplicity, versatility, and a wide range of applications. And with the guidance of ChatGPT, you are in for a dynamic and interactive learning experience like never before. We will move to the browser and I will show you how we will open the ChatGPT or OpenAI and use it to learn Python. So this is the first hyperlink, or you can just search OpenAI or ChatGPT and you can click on the ChatGPT hyperlink. So this is the official website, that is openai.com/chatgpt, and you can click here to get started, and you can see that it is also available on Google Play Store and Apple Store. So we'll just get started. You have to register if you are a new user, or if you have an account you can just log in into it. You could register with the Google account also. So after registering, you will get to this web page, that is the chat section. So here you will start the conversation with the ChatGPT, and you can find the complete roadmap of how you can become a Python developer, or if you want to be a specific in a field, or you want to become a data scientist, you could just have a roadmap for that. So here first we will ask ChatGPT what is Python, as we are on an embarking journey to learn Python here. So you could see that it has responded that Python is a high-level interpreted programming language known for its simplicity, readability, and versatility. It was created by Guido van Rossum and first released in 1991. So this is all about Python, and you can see that it has also stated its key features, that is readable syntax, and it has stated the feature also, that is Python uses indentation or white space to define code blocks. So that is defining the readable syntax, then interpreted language, dynamic typing, rich standard library, cross-platform, object-oriented, extensive community and ecosystem. So this is how ChatGPT has stated Python. So now what we will do, we'll ask ChatGPT to act as an instructor to us. We'll ask him kindly act as an instructor and give me a roadmap or teach me Python. So we have mixed two statements here. You could just use one, that is kindly act as an instructor and teach me Python, or you can also ask me that give me a roadmap for a Python developer, and you could also specify the duration, that is in 6 months or 2 weeks, that's up to you. So you could see that of course I would be happy to guide you through a roadmap to learn Python. Learning to code is an exciting journey and Python is a great language to start with. Here's a step-by-step roadmap to help you get started. So getting started, what he has given you is install Python, choose a code editor, and then he has stated that you could learn the basic concepts, variables and data types, operators, control structures, list tuples and dictionaries, functions and modules, intermediate concepts, advanced topics, web development and explore projects, collaboration and version control, advanced topics, practice and learn. So this is the whole roadmap for a Python developer. And now we will ask him, kindly act as our guide and give us a complete plan to become Python developer, and that too in 4 months. Okay, you could specify the timeline. So you could see here that absolutely I would be glad to help you create a comprehensive plan to become a Python developer in 4 months. So month 1, that would be for foundational concepts and basic programming. So that would be introduction to Python. Week 1 to 2, week 3 to 4 for be functions and modules, and month 2 in starting will do intermediate Python and object oriented programming, data structures for the week 1 and 2. Week 3 and 4 we will move on to object oriented programming. So this is how the ChatGPT has created a full guide for you in 4 months. So you could follow it and ask ChatGPT for resources. Can you provide resources from where can I learn? So you could see that it has started providing resources also for online learning platforms. It has stated Code Academy, Coursera, Udemy, EDX, and for interactive learning and practice it has stated Lead Code, HackerRank, and books also, that is Python Crash Course by Eric Matz, Automate the Boring Stuff with Python, and then the official documentation. That's the most important thing to learn any language. Then the YouTube channels, then blogs and websites. So these are all the resources that ChatGPT has stated you. You could also ask him that can you include these resources with the guide or the course guide or the complete roadmap, so it will do that for you also. And now we'll ask him, can you elaborate the concepts I should learn in week 1 to 2. So what ChatGPT does is it continues the chat. So what we have asked him prior, we can just cross question it and ask him further like what we can do about it. So you could see that it knows what we are talking about, what week 1 to. So he has stated that certainly in the first weeks of your learning journey you will be focusing on building a solid foundation in Python. So you could start with the week 1 only. You could just write week 1 and then you can see what it states, that is understand what Python is and its role in programming. Install Python on your computer and set up a code editor or IDE, example Visual Studio Code, or that could be Jupyter Notebook. It's up to your choice. And then write your first program, that is the classic hello world program. Then day 3 and 4 you could move on to variables and data types. You could learn them, and when you want to learn the concepts, ChatGPT will help you, and when you stuck on anything, ChatGPT will help you. So I will show you how you can be sure and ask ChatGPT if you stuck anywhere. So we'll ask ChatGPT, can you explain the topic variables and data types to a beginner? And you can see that it has stated now you have online learning sources that ChatGPT has given to you or provided you, and you can also ask ChatGPT to make the concepts understandable for you. So you can see that ChatGPT has given you the answer, that is, of course, let's break down the concepts of variables and data types in a beginner friendly way. So variables, think of a variable as a container that holds information. It's like a labeled box in which you can store different things. In programming, variables are used to store and manage data that your program needs to work with. So this is how ChatGPT has stated the concept variables and data types for you. And I can see like I have a good hold on Python, so I can see like it has stated a very good examples and it has covered all the information about variables and data types. And there's one more catch. If you didn't understand this concept by reading this information, you can ask ChatGPT to simplify more for you. So you can just write, I will copy it and I will ask him, can you explain the topic to a 6-year-old? Like, you can ask the ChatGPT to explain this topic to a younger self or to a younger kid. So let's see what it states with examples. Okay, now let's see. So you could see that it has started. So of course, imagine you have a special box called a variable. Okay, you have a box. This box can hold different things like numbers, words, and more. Let's look at some examples to help you understand. Variables. Think of a variable like a labeled jar where you keep things. You can put marbles, candies, or anything you like inside the jar. The jar has a name like magic jar. When you want to use what's inside, you just say the name of the jar. So data types. Now let's talk about the different kinds of things you can put inside the jar. There are different types of things, right? Like marbles, candies, and stickers. In the same way in programming, we have different types of things we can put in a variable. So this is how he simplified the concept for you. So this is how you can learn Python. First, you can have a roadmap and you can ask the ChatGPT to act as an instructor or a guide, and he will provide you the whole roadmap. And after that, you can break down the roadmap. That is, these things we have break down. That is, we have asked him what concepts we should learn in week 1 and 2. You could also ask for the week 1, and after that, you could just took out day 1 or 2, and you can also ask him where can I find the resource or from where I can learn how to download or set up Python in my system and how to download IDE. So it will provide resources to you and you can follow that resources, and if you find any difficulty, just paste that difficulty and give it to the ChatGPT. He will resolve for you. And moving on, you could ask the concepts for week 3 and 4 and start with the resources, online resources, and if you don't understand those concepts, you can ask ChatGPT to simplify it for you, or you can just like prefix it, not prefix it but suffix it, that you state these concepts for a 6-year-old or a beginner. So it will simplify the things for you and it will show you with examples. And here if we ask him, can you write a simple addition of numbers code in Python and explain the code to me. So you can see that ChatGPT has responded, and it has responded that absolutely has a simple Python code that adds two numbers together, and this is the code. That is number 1 variable, and it has inputted, like it has input the first number, then the second number, and in the sum result they have added and then they have printed it. And you could see that now let's break down this code step by step. And it has stated that number 1, this line asks the user to input a number. The input function takes the user types and store it in a variable. So this is how you can learn what the code means, what the function means, like the input function, what does its functionality and how you can use it. And the int function is used to convert the input into an integer, a whole number. So this is how ChatGPT will help you understand the code, learn the language, and have a command on it. So further going, you can ask more concepts from the ChatGPT, that give me some example for list, tuple, and dictionaries. And with the help of examples, you could just go with the course or the guide it has provided you. So this is how we will learn Python using ChatGPT. And you can also ask about the small projects, like if we get back to the roadmap, advanced topics, and this was our roadmap, that is month 3, advanced topics and practical applications. And here also you can ask ChatGPT to break down this course also break down this guide or the complete roadmap, and it will break down it for you and it will simplify it for you. If you want complete roadmap for a data scientist, so we'll ask him provide a detailed complete roadmap for data science. Let's ask him. So you could see that it has started stating the whole roadmap, and then you can ask the particular concepts you have to learn in the week 1 or 2. So it will break down it for you, and then you can ask the particular concept, can you please guide me through the whole concept and with the help of examples. So it will help you to learn that concept. So this is how this AI powered powerful tool ChatGPT will help you on a complete overwhelming journey to learn Python. This was all about our tutorial. Well, there you have it, folks. We hope you enjoyed this Python learning adventure with ChatGPT as much as we did. Remember, learning to program is a journey, not a destination, and Python is an amazing vehicle to take you there. And this was all for this tutorial.
Today we will see how you can learn Java using ChatGPT. So learning Java with ChatGPT is like having a friendly tutor by your side to guide you through the world of coding. So from the basics to advanced concepts, ChatGPT explains everything in a way that's easy to understand. You will learn how to write code step by step, starting with simple things like variables and moving on to more complex stuff like making your programs. With ChatGPT, you will get to practice what you learn with fun exercise and examples. It's like having a conversation where you ask question and ChatGPT helps you find the answer by the end. And you will be amazed at how much you have learned and confident in your Java skills to make your exciting projects. So whether you are a beginner or a pro, ChatGPT is here to make your coding journey smoother and more fun. With its help, you can solve problems faster, learn new things, and build awesome software with confidence. So this is our ChatGPT screen. So here first I will write, give me a monthly basis plan to learn Java from beginner to advanced level. Okay, press enter. So it will give something like, see, on month 1, first getting started with Java basics. In this you can learn introduction to Java, and then OOPS concept. Then in month 2 you will learn collection frameworks, then exception handling and file input output. Then in month 3 advanced Java topics. Then in 4th month advanced Java concept and frameworks like Java frameworks, web development with Java. Then in 5th month advanced topics and project work, like this. You can ask ChatGPT for monthly basis plan. So now what I will do here, right? So this is looking little bit tough. So what I will do, I will write here using the above monthly plan. Now give me a weekly plan to learn Java. Okay, so it will give me weekly plan from this plan. Okay, so in week mean what I will do, introduction to Java basics, setup development, and first you have to install JDK, Java JDK, okay, Java development kit, right, into your IDE. Then start with variables, data type and operators, then day 3, then this, then week 2, then week 3, then week 4, like this. Then again I will write here, let me copy it from here, okay, and paste it here. So I will write using the above weekly plan. Now give me daily basis plan to learn Java. Right now I have a day 1, like days plan, daily basis plan, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. So it is more easier to focus on, right? So this is your, okay, number of days 27, right? Fine. So now you can follow your schedule as per this to learn Java. So now what I will do, I will ask here, explain day 1 concepts briefly. Okay. So on day one, you will set up your development environment of Java programming. Here is a brief explanation. What is development environment setup? You will install the Java development kit JDK, which includes this. Then about what is JDK, then ID, integrated development environment, installing JDK. Then explain me day 2 briefly. Okay, explain spelling is wrong. Okay, on day 2, Java history is there, basic syntax. Okay, see variables here, data set types are here. Variables are used to store data in program, and they can hold different types of values like this. Okay, and okay, first let's see here something. If you want, like, see, day 3 dive into control flow statements, if else switch. So we can directly write here, please explain me, okay, what was that, control flow statements using example. Okay, so it will tell you what is control flow statement. Control flow statement Java are used to control the flow of execution in a program based on certain condition, right? So there are 3 types of control flow: if else, switch statement, and loop statement. Okay, see, if else statement plus the example. Okay, so there are comments also for your better understanding. Okay, right, see, if else, then switch example. Okay, so this is a syntax, this is an example. Loop, then again syntax, this is an example, loop while loop. Okay, so see how much easy to learn Java using ChatGPT. You can ask anything and it will give you. So let's see one more. Which one? Okay. So I will write oops concept. Okay, let's see classes and object. Okay, explain classes and objects in Java using example. Okay, so in Java, classes and objects, this is a syntax of classes and objects. So this is an example for what? My class. See, it's using classes. And what are the objects and classes? You can learn from here. An object is an instance of a class. It's created based on the blueprint defined by this, right? So this is how you can learn any function in Java, right? Whatever your function name is, just type it and say it to explain. Okay, so after completing these functions, so we can move on to practice some basic programming question like how to find prime number or Fibonacci series, like this. Okay, so I will write here, give me code to find prime numbers in Java. Okay, so this is your Java code to find prime numbers. See, this is too easy. Okay, if you want to explain it, you can write here, explain me this code. Okay, see, it will explain you, right? See, it's breakdown. See here, you can see, let's break down the code step by step. This much you can learn. This is the main method of program. It first define the variable, lower bound and upper bound. See, this is how you can learn easily, right? Let's see one more. Give me code for Fibonacci series in Java. And you can learn any language from this, any programming language using ChatGPT. Okay, so this is your Fibonacci series, right? And you can ask him to explain. Fine. So now it's come to the project. So I will write here, based on topics we covered till now, give me some project suggestions on Java. Okay, so it will suggest you some project. Okay, so you can build simple calculator application, you can build student management system, you can build inventory management system. So these are some basic Java projects you can create and you can add into your Java projects list, or in GitHub you can add, or in resume you can add. Okay, let's make to-do list. Fine. So give me code of to-do list project. Okay, so here is simple implementation of to-do list in Java using JavaFX for the graphical user interface, right? So this is how you can create any project and you can learn any project. Okay, you can ask him to explain, you can ask ChatGPT to explain this particular project. With this, we have come to end of this video. If you have any question or doubt, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. Our team of experts will help you as soon as possible. Thank you and keep learning with Simply.
Staying ahead in your career requires continuous learning and upskilling. Whether you're a student aiming to learn today's top skills or a working professional looking to advance your career, we've got you covered. Explore our impressive catalog of certification programs in cutting-edge domains, including data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, or digital marketing. Designed in collaboration with leading universities and top corporations, and delivered by industry experts, choose any of our programs and set yourself on the path to career success. Click the link in the description to know more.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.